That should be right. Now on YouTube, let me know if you can hear me. I'm going to go live on Facebook here in just a little bit. Make sure everything looks good. Break that down. Afternoon, everybody. Max Crawford here with you on this Monday afternoon, just ahead of 3 p.m. We're still about an hour from our afternoon shows, so we thought we'd do another stream as these storms push through. Got any questions about a specific location, please say so. And we're happy to help you out there. This stream will probably be about a half hour unless we see something beef up a little bit more than what we're currently thinking. And the long story short is that a lot of those storms that rolled through late this morning, early this afternoon, should be saving us from a severe weather threat, but we don't want to speak too soon. We are still watching this out there right now. This is the radar over the past 2 hours, and I did want to show you a look at at radar early this afternoon. I'm going to switch something here real quick. Apologies. Put that one on there. Okay, that should do it. All right. So right now what we're looking at is this main line of storms is the cold front. It's the leading edge of the cold front that's pushing through right now. And the heaviest is in between OSR and 79. But if you're on the west side of Bryan, anywhere from about the Brazos River leading back up into Benchley, it's probably the first rain you've seen today. First heavy rain you've seen today. Most of the heavier stuff was more College Station in southern Brazos County. So we've got our new round here. Sorry, I'm trying to do like 5 things at once. Try to log into something else on a different computer. Howdy, Susan. Good to hear from you. Hope you're doing well. Hope the semester finishes up strong. Trina, hello. Huntsville. All right, so Huntsville is going to be kind of one of the later experiencers of this front, but kind of like what I just said, you just saw 2 storms roll through. And so my expectation as the front pushes in is that it should not be any crazier than the activity that you just had out there. We should be stable enough out there to where you shouldn't have any huge concerns. Timing wise, it's going to be another couple hours. There's a few showers your way, but I would say closer to about 5 o'clock is when Huntsville could see the next round rolling in. We got lightning there turned on for you. I'm actually working in Berkeley Show right now. I'm going to see if I can bebop back over to. Okay. David, okay, so Madisonville, next couple hours, we definitely need to watch. All that stuff is to your north and west right now. But it's coming your way, and none of this is severe so far. And the hope and thought is that we're not seeing that materialize for you. But Madison County, we still need to watch. That big yellow polygon that you see there, that is a tornado watch. That's until 7 o'clock and includes most of the area. Milam and Lee technically not included. And what we're going to see as we move through the afternoon and this leading line of the thunderstorms pushes through is we're going to see those counties slowly drop off of the watch list. It's technically until 7 o'clock, but a lot of you, it'll be canceled early. Marissa, very seriously doubt it. This round of storms that is rolling through right now is non-severe. Part of the reason I started this stream, though, is because we are watching it for maybe just a little bit of rotation, but that's not a huge concern in the imminent future. And assuming this line of storms right now rolls through without becoming tornadic, then we don't expect much to go along with that. Somebody asking about Huntsville in the clear for tornadoes. Not yet, but like I mentioned a little bit earlier, that round of storms that y'all had roll through earlier should have lessened that threat a good bit, but I'm not ready to say y'all are completely done with that tornado threat just yet. I'm going to kind of circle the areas that we're watching here. All right, we're going to have radar up there while I switch over something real quick. That's the latest. That's from about 2:30. So hang on, we'll get you some new radar here in just 1 second. And while I am loading up some stuff, I'll go through the questions. May, yes, this is the front rolling through. Now, Thanksgiving, ahead of that, and really like Tuesday night into Wednesday, that's when the next cold front rolls through. That's when we're actually going to get chilly again. But yes, this is one of two fronts that we're watching as far as the week is concerned, and then there's another one coming through before the end of this coming weekend. There's a big black screen that you're seeing right there. Working on that right this second. I'm trying to pull up some additional graphics here. Suvi on YouTube wants to know any hail warning. No, we have not seen any hail today so far, other than some pea-sized hail. That has not been a huge concern. Like I said, a tornado watch in effect until 7 o'clock. That's the biggest thing that we're watching right now. Somebody asked about Wixon Valley tornado. No, there are no active tornado warnings in our area. The only storm that really looked the part and in fact did produce a tornado and there was some damage along with that. That was in Spring/Klein down in Harris County. Things have thankfully been a lot more tame in our area. Okay, that is finally loaded up. So let me pull that back up, y'all. Sorry about that. Should have done that before I started the stream. Somebody wanting to know about Wixon Valley tornadoes again. If you are going to see anything at all, the next half hour to hour is what is worth watching. This line of thunderstorms is rolling through. I don't see anything concerning with it. It is the leading edge of the cold front, and once that line of storms passes you, your severe weather threat is over. So my answer is I doubt it, but we're gonna the reason we're on this stream is because we're gonna watch this. Joanne asking about moving forward in College Station. The next hour or two is going to be the main event here as this front pushes in, and then we will make short work of the rest of the afternoon. I know a lot of people are trying to get on the road this evening. Northbound drivers are going to have a much better time than the rest of us. Okay, this has finally loaded up here. Goodness gracious, y'all. Sorry about that. Let me show you where the cold front is. Caldwell, same type of deal. In fact, that y'all just had a quick little burst of thunderstorms roll through. That may well be the heaviest that you see through the rest of the afternoon because now the cold front's starting to push in. We can finally get this to pull up. Okay. Jamie, I don't know that I was ever on the nice list to begin with. I think that's a compliment to have suggested that I was originally. But there's still time. There's still plenty of time. Okay, data's loading up here, so it's going to be kind of hard to see the temperatures until the contour loads. Centerville, you guys are just about to get in on that round of thunderstorms again. All of this is non-severe at the moment. We just wanted to be on this stream so that we could say we're watching it. We on this leading edge of the storms, we are watching for any rotation, but so far I have not seen any. Kimberly asking about Franklin. For y'all are pretty much done. If it has stopped raining for y'all are pretty much finished. I'm going to pull up our first alert radar here in just a second. Carlos on YouTube wants to know if there's going to be high winds in Bryan. If there are going to be, it would be nowish. And thus far, that has very much not been the case. Okay, so we've got our radar on campus turned on. And the range of that is not quite as good as that one in Fort Hood, but the resolution is a lot better. Okay, so we've got it over the last 3 hours. Let's do now. And we're just going to peek around. We're going to take a look at velocity. What I'm doing now is just kind of looking at the winds. That green color means it's blowing, the wind is blowing towards the radar. The red is away. And I don't see anything super concerning with that. So that is good news. What you're kind of looking for is like a tightly wound green and red together. So you can still see a little bit of inflow here, just ahead of that line pushing through. So that might be, that's something to watch. But again, that's really not a huge concern for me. So let me go back to the one that shows more of us. Franklin, yeah, y'all are pretty much done. All of my graphics are discombobulated. So let's get that watch box off. Should be more helpful. And what we're likely going to see is once this front starts to push through, we're going to see this tornado watch start to get driven back. Buffalo, more Leon County, folks. Buffalo, things are starting to quiet down for y'all. So I'm going to put this loop over the past hour. Cold front is pushing through. And this is not going to be a front where you immediately notice like, oh, wow, it's chilly out there. This is more just going to be a wind switch, and we take away that extra layer of instability with it, and all the thunderstorm activity kind of pushes off to your south and east. So Buffalo, y'all had some heavy activity. It's starting to quiet down there for you. So now it's the rest of Leon County's turn, south of 79, Centerville, Marquay, Leon County, Keith Lakes, and Flynn, Leona, all of that coming through here within the next 15 to 30. Madison County, folks, haven't forgotten about you either. The way that these are, it's a lot like what we saw last week, where these individual storms are moving to the north and east while the line kind of propagates southeast. So what you're going to see is all this activity that's over Bryan right now. It's going to move through Wixon Valley, then Curtin, then North Solch, then Madisonville, so on. Felicia, I would bet over the next, probably by the time we start the 4 o'clock, it will be about out of Bryan, is what it looks like. And once again, what I think we're seeing here is the front is encountering some of that more stable air from some of the thunderstorms we saw a little bit earlier, and we have not seen much additional development here. So Burleson, Lee County, that should bode well for you in terms of the overall severe threat. Somebody asked about Washington County and Brenham. Y'all have got some thunderstorms moving through right now, but it's probably not until about 6 or 7 o'clock that y'all are completely out of the clear, maybe 5 or 6 o'clock. And then y'all will be quiet until at least Friday. Momo says it is pouring on OSR. Absolutely it is. It's nice to see those thunderstorms actually making it south of OSR for a change. That was not the case when we were doing this stream on Thursday night. They did not want to budge. Benchley, north side of Bryan, Wixon Valley as well, right over the lake. And that was the biggest reason we started the stream. I'm so sorry for coughing into the mic, y'all. Daycare kids. Skellis on YouTube says it has been pouring for a little bit. MJ Wilkerson. Also asking about the tornado watch in Robertson County. So y'all's severe threat is actively winding down. And so what I think we're going to see within the hour is we're probably going to see, especially for Robertson County, but probably even Burleson as well. I think we're going to see that tornado watch canceled early for y'all. I would think that here for the next hour or so, Brazos, Madison, Grimes, Walker, Montgomery, San Jacinto, et cetera, will probably still be included on that. But I'm feeling pretty good about our severe chances from here. So most of Robertson County, save my easterly folks, you're on the east side of Easterly, Wheelock, and Eaton. Most of Robertson County folks, y'all are quieting down for the afternoon. Samantha, appreciate you. Yeah, it's been a very interesting fall because we had a very wet summer, and then the rain just kind of stopped in September. And then we just had kind of two big events in October, and now two big events in November, one of which, last week did not come to fruition for most of us watching this, but northern counties it absolutely did. And now, after those thunderstorms that we saw push through earlier this morning, here's the front rolling through right now. Lisa wants to know, what about College Station? There's some stuff to y'all south, and so especially if you're in South College Station, you no doubt hear that thunder. Let's see how far. That might make it to about Welborn, but that's especially a Milliken storm down towards Peach Creek, the Southern Point, areas like that. Somebody asking about Navasota. Right now, I'm not super concerned about any of that activity. In that the activity in Washington County is going to move into Southern Grimes within the half hour. A little bit of enhanced wind right now over OSR. There's nothing crazy about that. Kind of just east, in between Benchley and Wixon Valley. A little bit of extra lightning strikes. So we may see that pulse up and try to push out some decent wind. But I'm not really concerned about any of that. I don't think we're going to see that become severe. Jill says it's raining hard in Brenham right now. Ooh, David wants to know how cold it's going to get this week. This week is seasonable. So, I mean, it'll be chilly again by Wednesday morning. And certainly Thanksgiving Thursday and Friday. And then it'll get kind of humid again ahead of the next system that rolls through this weekend. This weekend looks to be more just run-of-the-mill rain and a few thunderstorms. I don't expect a whole lot of severe weather to go along with this one. It's going to be kind of a slow-moving system. And then it looks like we could get a little punch of a more Arctic air mass going into early next week. So I'll come back to radar here in just a little bit since I'm kind of on that roll. But basically, it's this system. And then this weekend into early next week, several chances for rain and a couple storms to go along with that. And then eventually that culminates with some colder air. Jill, it's not high. No, it's definitely not high. You are still under a tornado watch. What we're seeing right now is the leading edge of the cold front move through. And so if we are going to find any strong storms, it would be over the next couple hours for y'all. Like I said, this goes until 7 o'clock. But these storms that are pushing through, this is the main event that we're looking at through the afternoon because we don't have a ton of daytime heating left to go. And the front is pushing through. So yeah, we're still watching over the next couple hours, but no, it is not high at all. It is still low, but I'm not ready to say you're totally in the clear just yet. Hi. Which button is it? This one? Oh. Berkeley Taylor, everybody. All right. Just going from screen to screen, just looking at YouTube and Facebook. I believe I've answered everybody's questions. Oh, Jill, I didn't see your earlier question. So Joe wants to know, is there a meteorological reason why Brenham, BCS, like kind of in between here and there, tends to miss out on storms? Yes, is the answer. I would say geographically and meteorologically, these things happen. And a big reason for that is just kind of where we are on the map. We are far enough away from the Gulf to where, we don't always tap into that deeper moisture. We are far enough away from, kind of the heart of severe weather across the state of Texas, kind of north central all the way back down into south central Texas. We do have a pretty good little balance of missing out on the bigger thunderstorms. Now, that being said, think about all the people, and I'm one of them, who had to get their roof replaced earlier this year. So we are absolutely still in a severe weather area. I was going to say hotbed, but maybe not so much. But northeast Texas, where they get a lot of more nocturnal storms and stuff like that happens to us sometimes too. But we are kind of in a pretty good position overall, where a lot of times we see those storms kind of beef up across central Texas, and then a lot of times falling apart as they roll in. And so that does present a forecast challenge for us, and that also is an advantage for us in terms of severe weather, in that it's not quite as common as it is just to our west or down to our south and east, or especially off to our north and east. But in reality, other than just knowing that general rule of thumb, you kind of still have to take it case by case. There's no actual thing like the Aggie Dome. A lot of it is a spatial bias, thinking that the storm always misses your house and stuff like that. But there is a little bit of geographical truth to it, in that we are far enough inland where we don't have as much to worry about from tropical influences, but we're also not so far west that we really get those big, unstable air masses with big hail producers. And again, that has very much proven itself wrong a couple of times already this year from those big hailstorms that we saw back in March. So obviously this is still a severe weather area, but not quite as much as folks are around us, really. I'm gonna go through there's downtown Ryan. This rainy afternoon, Bragg Crescent Highway 6. Much fewer trees. What we used to see. That's by far the saddest part about this whole expansion project. All right, back to weather. Let's back on. So yeah, that's where we're sitting. And notice that the temperatures behind this front, they're really not all that much cooler, right? In fact, the rain cooled air feels about the same as the cold front air. The bigger front is going to push through a little bit later. In fact, let's look at that, and then we'll go back to radar here in just a second. Kim, Somerville, we're still watching, but I feel pretty good about the severe threat winding down for most of Washington County. Next hour or two, still worth watching, but I'm not hugely concerned about Somerville. My Lions folks in here, Lions in Deanville, anybody? Did y'all get some rain earlier this afternoon? Because it sure doesn't look like you got a whole lot with that round rolling through a little bit earlier. Okay, so there's the front pushing through. And there you see it. There's a considerable cool down into tonight. Like, it's going to be chilly waking up tomorrow morning, and then we'll jump up to about 80 degrees. Then, here we go. There's that northeast wind kicking in, and we get back down into the low 50s on Wednesday and only jump up into the upper 60s. And then Wednesday night into Thursday, there we go. That's a little bit finally below average for us. So it'll be a chilly start to Turkey Day, but really it looks phenomenal. Thursday afternoon. See if it goes this far. It should get us to midday. Yeah. I mean, 60 degree, like, you're actually going to want to wear a sweater. And if you're like me and you've been celebrating the Christmas season all along, you're going to want to wear a Christmas sweater on Thanksgiving Thursday. How lovely is that? Okay, let me show you latest, what we call HRRR or her. That's kind of behind about an hour or so. And so this, but this I think gives us a good picture of what we're watching. You see all of those storms kind of focus south and east of here, down towards the Houston area. It's deep East Texas. It's the Sabine River Valley that I think has a way higher chance for severe weather than us. But as this front pushes through, I'm talking like Eastern Grimes, Montgomery again, San Jacinto, maybe Walker and Trinity, through about the 6 or 7 o'clock hour. I think it's still worth watching to see if any of these storms can materialize. But then by the time it's time to go to bed, we're good. Fog might settle in tomorrow morning, but that's really about it. So for a lot of us watching this, that severe threat is really starting to wane. Yeah, James, I think it is. And Tornado Alley, in a sense, is essentially anywhere from Texas, stretching all the way up into the Great Plains, including parts of Arkansas, Oklahoma, Kansas, etc. And then there's also the Dixie Alley, parts of the Deep South that have actually more frequently seen tornadoes over the past 5 to 10 years than Tornado Alley. So yeah, we're absolutely still in a tornado-porn part of the world. But even just a skip and a hop to the east, when you get into the Piney Woods, into deep East Texas, into the Arklatex and stuff like that, climatologically speaking, the tornado threat is higher as you go that way. So if you're just tuning into the stream, I'm going to get you up to speed here. We've got scattered thunderstorms out there. One that I'm now looking at here with these couple of sweeps, that is kind of on the Navasota River, in between, we'll call that BCS and about Anderson. That one is worth watching, but so far it is non-severe. And then this cluster of storms moving through northern Brazos County and then into Madison County after that. That is worth watching. That's where the strongest parts of these storms are. But overall, my concern is pretty low right this second. If we are going to see some big time storms, it would be over the next hour or two. Hi, Trisha. Good afternoon. You're welcome, Kathy. Thanks for saying thanks. Megan said, I've already seen a rainbow today. Yep, y'all have got some more thunderstorms pushing in here over the next hour. Ashley, thanks for tuning in. Milan? I don't know where Gaoting is. I apologize. We're asking about Kenny. Same type of deal for y'all. Y'all are not in the clear just yet. But everything I've seen down that way, especially with the stuff that y'all saw roll through a little bit earlier today, I don't have any huge concerns at the moment, but the day is still young. So I mean, we're going into Austin County here. There's nothing of concern right now, but we could see some more stuff materialize late this afternoon, early this evening. I think that's pretty unlikely. But y'all will be one of the last ones removed from that tornado watch that goes until 7 o'clock, just because of how far south you are where this cold front is moving through. Sarah, hello. Thanks for hopping on the stream. All right, so what we're going to do here we're about 30 minutes from the start of the 4 o'clock news, and we're gonna stay with you to about that point. We'll probably hop off at about 3:50 or so. So we'll stay on the stream for another 20 minutes and keep an eye on things. If you are just now coming on to the stream, either Facebook or YouTube, appreciate you. The situation here, I was just sitting here denouncing the Aggie Dome, and look at what we have on either side of BCS. But we already got our rain. At least most of us in College Station did a little bit earlier. And if you're on the north side of Bryan, you absolutely got some rain. But both of these cells are kind of splitting BCS right now, which I don't love. I would actually kind of prefer a more organized line, because whenever that happens, you don't see as much of a concern with rotating storms. But I still don't see anything overly concerning. Just looking at velocity signatures here, I don't see anything super crazy. But we'll watch that for our Grimes County friends. And if you're on the northern side of Brazos County and then into Madison. Andrew, yes, no problem. Yes, it is. This is the main line or cluster of storms that we're talking about. The front is pushing through as we speak, and moving forward, we will we'll quiet things down from northwest to southeast over the course of the afternoon. Look at 5-minute observation. Call it still south wind, south of 12. Keep refreshing on that because the front is close. There's a little bit trying to spark back up just west of town. I get the feeling that's exactly where the front is. That's what it looks like to me. Thanks, Ashley. Appreciate you. Hope y'all are well. Good to hear from you. Congrats on your on the next chapter also. Abby is on YouTube, wants to know about Madisonville. So the storm's moving your way right now. Let's put a storm track there for you. None of this is severe at the moment. I do have some concerns for some street flooding, maybe some gusty winds. And I don't want us to let our guard down just yet in terms of any rotating wind, but right now I don't think that is a huge likelihood here for you. So let's get the leading edge of these storms and let's put them about, hold on, ignore those times. Yeah, let's do that. Changing a couple of, sorry. Okay, let's do that, and let's put it moving northeast at about 40. There we go. Okay, so close, right at about the top of the hour for Madisonville. North Solch already starting to see some of that move through. It's moving through Wixon Valley Curtin right now. Sorry, I keep moving this box around. So yeah, especially in the northern side of Madisonville. If you live on the south side, kind of close to the Grimes-Madison County line, there's a chance that some of this skirts right by you. but I still feel pretty good about most of Madison County getting in on this. Still keeping an eye on that Grimes County cell, which again, it does not look super threatening right now. By the way, appreciate the YouTube comments. Appreciate the Facebook comments as well. But streaming on YouTube is something that we kind of just very recently started to do. So just know that whenever we're streaming on Facebook, we're streaming on YouTube as well. So if for whatever reason Facebook is down or you just find that viewing experience a little bit better on YouTube, we are there as well. Norman G. Good afternoon. Nothing right now. And y'all actually are about to get in on some of the heaviest stuff. So the rain's about to pick up. Might be some additional wind with that too, but no, nothing severe for y'all right now. And I largely expect that to continue. But once you, so it's going to get more intense here for a little bit. And then once you start to hear things calm down, y'all are very likely done for the afternoon. I'm so sorry about the coughing and the scratchy throat, y'all. Like I said, daycare kids. Lexi wants to know about Caldwell. We could see a little bit of additional stuff, but I think for the most part, y'all are done. Oakwood, I believe y'all were under a flood advisory for a little bit, and there's still some stuff coming y'all's way. But I think for the most part, that's going to stay to y'all's south, or especially on the southeastern side of town. The way that these storms are pushing right now, they're moving northeast, kind of moving about like that. So there's a chance it kind of skirts y'all to just to the south a little bit. But this stuff that's over Centerville, Jewett right now could be coming your way. But since y'all are already kind of on the other side of that front, I don't have any real severe concerns for you up in Oakwood. Hannah Anderson, y'all got some storms rolling in right now. Obviously, you probably already knew that part. This, if we're gonna see any strong storms for y'all, this would be the one. But I don't see anything concerning right now. I'm looking at a couple of different things that we can see through radar, and I'm really not concerned about that. So there's some stuff that may just miss y'all kind of more towards Roan's Prairie, and then there's some stuff in between Milliken and Navasota that is working north and east. So you are going to get some more rain out of this, but it doesn't look severe. Got any Southwest Montgomery County folks in here? Magnolia, Dobbin, Montgomery itself. That's all going to push this away, moving up towards Lake Conroe here. Oh, the next half hour. Megan on YouTube wants to know about Centerville. Rolling through as we speak. The heavier stuff is actually just y'all's north, kind of in between y'all and Buffalo. But right along and north of Highway 7 is where most of the heavy stuff is. But if the rain hasn't picked up for you just yet, it probably will. There's some heavier radar echo in Flynn right now. So Leona and Centerville both. Rain's going to get a little bit heavier before it starts to calm down for you. Yeah, I really think that what the radar is picking up right here is the leading edge of the cold front. I think pretty soon we'll see that wind switch in. Brian, y'all are just about done. Really, it looks like. So here's future radar, and I like the timing of this. It's still got some thunderstorms, mainly along and east of I-45 by the time we get to about 6 o'clock, and then really clearing out of here by or before 9, 10 o'clock this evening. Like I said, that tornado watch goes until 7. I think we're going to actively start seeing some counties drop from it. Let's see if there has been any update on that. Madisonville, stuff's about to roll into your area here over the next 15 to 20. I'll show you in just a second. Yeah, so technically still just about all of us at Milam and Lee County folks until 7 o'clock, but I really think they're going to start peeling off counties here in a little bit. I'm getting to you, Lorena. Apologies. Navasota, got some stuff off to your north. Now that's gonna move north and east away from you, and then the next hour or two after that, I still think it's worth watching, but I don't expect much after this push of storms that rolled through. Leslie, probably. What I still want to see is how much this is able to beef up, but I think most of College Station is still pretty stable from the storms we saw yesterday. The sun came out for a little bit, but it didn't really do enough to like warm us up back to unstable levels. So I think it's more and more likely now that we've already kind of seen our main event for College Station specifically. Yeah, folks on YouTube talking about the tornado in Klein today. Yeah, in between Klein and Spring. Looks like a tornado to me. We try not to confirm them, but the evidence was pretty compelling, not only with that, but with the damage that occurred also. So very likely, and I'll just say, yeah, it was a tornado that touched down there in a couple of neighborhoods in Klein/Spring. So I mean, I suppose the tornado watch was warranted in that way. We did have a tornado warned storm down over Waller County, Montgomery County a little bit earlier. We saw some rotation over Grimes County much earlier today, but thus far these storms have behaved themselves. Now, if you live in South College Station, that storm that rolled through earlier this morning, kind of late morning, almost midday, it was very, very loud. And we did get just a crazy picture from a viewer in College Station who said that lightning struck their tree and it did a lot of damage to obviously to the tree, but it did some damage to their house and to their neighbors. They even had wood from the tree that had gone all the way down the street and stuff like that. That was just from lightning, not wind or anything. But that was pretty wild. Yeah, I'm still not seeing anything concerning. So that's good. Madisonville folks, your wait is almost over. Got stuff rolling through North Zolch and Normandy right now. It'll be in y'all's area pretty soon after that. Within the next half hour for sure, probably a little bit quicker. Shiro. It would not shock me. We have a little bit of teeny tiny hail moving into Shiro. Yeah, there's a little teeny tiny hail core. Yeah, it's picking up pea-sized hail. Let's move in right into Roan's Prairie and then Shiro after that. You know what's wild is I'm reading this right. Oh, never mind. I was gonna say just a trace of precip out of Easterwood is gonna be closer to a half inch. It looks like. So this is, of all the storms we got locally, this is the strongest one that we're looking at right now. It's moving through Roans Prairie and into Shiro. I'm not like concerned about it by any means, but it would not shock me if that storm is a little bit loud just because of some heat and maybe dime size hail. And that's over Roans Prairie right now, moving into Shiro. So far, I'm zooming way out here, and I'm looking. There are no active warnings. There's a couple of things we call significant weather advisories, which is essentially the Weather Service's way of saying, like, hey, we're watching this, and, it could be more than just your average thunderstorm. But I'm not seeing any active warnings right this second. So that is good. All right, it is 3:42. We're going to wrap up the stream in about 5 minutes so that Berkeley can get all of her stuff ready for the 4 o'clock show. But in case you have just tuned into the stream, I'm going to get you back up to speed here and just kind of show you what's going on. We've got the next kind of main event of thunderstorm clusters rolling through the area now. Zooming way out. Actually, let's just go right back in. Sorry about that. This is in motion here. It should start to go loop in just a second. Over the past couple hours. My biggest concern, if we do see any severe weather with this, is over parts of Madison, Grimes, maybe Walker, and then Houston Trinity after that. But really, I'm not all that concerned right this second. So we've been kind of babysitting these thunderstorms throughout the stream, and so far I have not seen anything of real concern. We'll keep watching that storm that's moving over Montgomery, kind of towards Lake Conroe, but largely we're just looking at run-of-the-mill thunderstorms. Amber wants to know about Midway, Leona. Leona, storm's rolling through right now. Within the next hour or so, you are in the clear. Midway, it's going to be a little bit longer than that. There are still some thunderstorms to get to over the next hour. Y'all are still stewing in a pretty unstable environment, so I won't say no to any severe weather, but it does not look super likely from just the way that storms have been behaving so far this afternoon. So I'm hopeful that everything that you see is non-severe, but I'm not ready to say that with 100% certainty just yet. Franklin is done. Y'all are done for the day, other than maybe a couple hundredths more of an inch if we see anything else pop up before the sun goes down. Y'all are done. Okay, so we'll go ahead and wrap up with that. Again, we'll keep an eye on these thunderstorms. We'll have an update for you coming up on KBTX News at 4. We will not be streaming that on Facebook or YouTube, but it's really easy to get to. If not on air, just go to kbtx.com/livestream, or if you have the KBTX app, on your phone or on Roku, a Fire Stick, all that good stuff, we will stream there. But just wanted to hop on and give y'all an update as to what storms are doing right now, where they're headed. Overall, I feel pretty good about the rest of the afternoon. That being said, I think especially the farther east you go, we still got to watch this, as most of us are still under a tornado watch. But I think as we progress through the afternoon, we're going to see more and more of us peeled off of that watch. No active warnings right now. Again, if we need to hop back on the stream or, of course, on air, we will. Other than that, appreciate y'all hanging out with us on the stream for a little bit this afternoon, and we will get you another update coming up very, very shortly. Y'all stay dry, stay safe this holiday week if you got to travel especially, and we'll get up to date with y'all in just over 10 minutes. We'll see you soon.